Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Ready to jump back into the fascinating world of integer sequences.
Always.
I knew you'd say that. It's through the lens of the OEIS, as always, and today we're diving into a sequence with more twists and turns than you might expect at first. It's A000100.
Yeah, this one is deceptively simple when you just look at it, but it leads to some pretty cool mathematical concepts.
Well, let's not keep anyone waiting. A000100 counts the number of compositions of n with the maximum part of 3. Compositions are basically ways to break down a number into a sum of positive integers.
Right, so if we take the number 5 as an example, the compositions that would fit that rule, maximum part of 3, would be 1 plus 1 plus 3, or 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, or 3 plus 1 plus 1, or 1 plus 3 plus 1.
Oh, okay, I see. So 5 different compositions, which would give us the 5th term in our sequence. Makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's the basic idea. But then things get really interesting because this sequence also counts binary sequences. But there's a catch?
It has to have a specific property. Over 000100 also counts binary sequences, those strings of zeros and ones of length n-1, where the longest run of consecutive zeros is exactly 2.
So in our example of 5, we'd be looking at binary sequences of length 4 with 2 zeros in a row.
Precisely. So we'd have sequences like 0010 or 0011 and so on.
And just like the compositions, there are 5 such sequences.
Exactly. It's remarkable how different sounding concepts end up linked mathematically.
It really is, yeah. Okay, you ready for this? This sequence is also connected to Fibonacci and Tribonacci numbers.
You thought it couldn't get any better.
Huh. Fibonacci numbers, I'm good, but remind me about Tribonacci numbers.
So Tribonacci numbers are kind of similar to Fibonacci, but instead of each term being the sum of the previous 2, it's the sum of the previous 3 terms. So it starts with 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 7, and so on.
Okay, I remember now. And how does that tie back to A000011?
So the link is that each term in the sequence is the difference between the corresponding Tribonacci and Fibonacci numbers, with a small twist, though.
A twist, huh? What do you mean?
Well, you don't just subtract the 5th Fibonacci number from the 5th Tribonacci number to get the 5th term in A000100.
Ah, okay.
You actually take the nth Tribonacci number and subtract the nth Fibonacci number to get the n plus 1th term in our sequence.
Okay, so there's a shift involved. Interesting. It's amazing how these sequences are all intertwined.
Right. And this connection goes even deeper than that and involves an operation called convolution. It's a way of blending 2 sequences together to create a third one.
I'm picturing like a mathematical smoothie.
Yeah, kind of. So essentially the convolution of the Fibonacci and Tribonacci sequences ends up related to A000100. It hints at some shared structure between them.
Compositions, binary sequences, Fibonacci, Tribonacci, and now convolution, all linked to this one sequence. My head is spinning.
Yeah, and guess what? We're not even done yet. There's this whole other layer involving k-step Fibonacci numbers, which are a generalization of the Fibonacci sequence. So these k-step Fibonacci sequences, they're fascinating. Instead of adding the previous 2 terms, like in the regular Fibonacci sequence, you add the previous k term. So regular Fibonacci is 2-step, Tribonacci is 3-step, and you can keep going, 4-step, 5-step, and so on.
Okay, I think I get that. But how do these k-step sequences connect back to A000100? It feels like we're going down a serious rabbit hole here.
Oh, we are, and it's amazing. So the number of compositions of Fibonacci there, the largest part shows up exactly Ayres times, is related to these k-step Fibonacci numbers.
Okay, so like how many compositions of 10 have 3 as the largest part? A and D3 appears exactly 2 times.
Exactly. There's this formula. It's a bit complex, but it uses sums of these k-step Fibonacci numbers to calculate that. It just goes to show how intertwined these different areas of mathematics really are.
Wow, okay. So we've got compositions, binary sequences, Fibonacci, Tribonacci, convolution, A and D, k-step Fibonacci numbers, all connected to A000100. Is there anything else? I'm almost afraid to ask.
You'd think we'd be done right, but there's more. A000100 also has a representation as a generating function, so it's like packing this entire sequence into a single mathematical expression.
That's a pretty powerful tool. So with all these amazing connections, what's the takeaway for our listeners? Why should they care about this sequence?
That's a great question. I think this deep dive into A000100 just shows how beautiful mathematical exploration can be. Even seemingly simple concepts can lead to these unexpected and really profound connections across different fields of math.
It's like you start with this one little thread and you end up unraveling this whole tapestry of mathematical ideas.
Exactly. It emphasizes how interconnected math really is. Things that seem totally unrelated on the surface often share this deep underlying structure just waiting to be discovered.
It's like a whole secret world of relationships between these mathematical ideas. And by exploring sequences like A000100, we get to see that world.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who's intrigued, the OEIS is a treasure trove of these fascinating sequences. Spend some time with it. You never know what you might find.
Like panning for gold, but for math. And sometimes you hit a vein as rich as A000100.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, every sequence in the OEIS has a story to tell.
Okay, so to wrap things up, exploring the OEIS isn't just about numbers. It's about uncovering this tapestry of mathematical connections that make up our world.
It really is. And who knows? Maybe you listening will be the one to find the next mind-blowing connection waiting in the OEIS.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us, and happy exploring. So we've really gone deep, haven't we? Journeyed into the heart of A000040.
We have.
We've seen how this sequence connects to so much. Compositions, binary sequences, Fibonacci and Tribonacci numbers. Oh, and K-step Fibonacci numbers.
Yeah.
And it has a representation as a generating function. I mean, what haven't we covered?
Yeah, it's been quite the ride. I think it shows something really important about math, though.
What's that?
It's this idea that, areas of math that seem totally different can be deeply connected.
Right.
And A000100 is like a perfect example of that. It shows how ideas from number theory, combinatorics, even calculus can be intertwined really surprising ways.
Yeah, it's like finding those hidden tunnels in old houses. They lead to these rooms you never even knew existed.
Exactly. And exploring the OEIS is like having a master key to all those hidden passageways in math. Each sequence is like a doorway.
To a whole new world. For our listeners who want to explore more on their own, what advice would you give them?
Well, the OEIS itself is a great place to start. Just browsing through can spark so many ideas.
Right.
Pick a sequence that catches your eye, maybe one with a cool name or an interesting description, and see where it takes you.
Like a mathematical scavenger hunt.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to dive deep into the details. Sometimes the best insights come from really focusing on a specific concept.
I think that's a great takeaway from today's deep dive. A000100 has shown us that even a single sequence can unlock a whole world of connections in math.
Yeah, and who knows what else is waiting to be discovered in the OEIS. That's the exciting part. Always something new to explore.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, happy exploring.